We just watched episode 8, The Mask of Gotham. So what did we learn? Well, we learned that going into finance isn't all that boring because you get to have a fight club. It was to the death? Oh, well, maybe never mind. What else? Well, we learned not to come home late to Barbara or she'll pull a gun on you. And we learned that the best food to have after beating a classmate senseless is pizza. Because why not? So come on, you asshats. I'm Chad Perkins, and this is the Gotham After Show.
Yes.
Welcome to the Gotham After Show, the show that films about 24 hours after Gotham airs on Fox to give you all a chance to send us your questions, your comments, be part of the conversation. If you're joining us via our podcast, I'd like to say hi. You can't see us waving, but we're waving right now. If you're watching us in living color, welcome as well. You can see this. And if you'd like to listen to us on the go, we are on TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, and of course on iTunes. So there you go. Please welcome my panel of Gotham and Batman experts, David Cottingham, Cory Cooley. Guys, first impressions, right off the bat, Dave Cottingham. Go.
Okay,
maybe not. Maybe, Cory, you want to go?
First of all, we're both a little. You're gonna cough, probably most likely.
I'm gonna cough.
I've had major dental work today,
yes.
so I look like I got a two-face right now because I'm probably not coughing out. So let's just get that out of the way, guys.
I can, so we all look the same. I just kind of.
Clint Eastwood. Oh gosh. Anyway, so let's
Black Mask.
No,
The Mask.
The Mask.
The Mask.
Yeah, The Mask.
Yeah.
To be honest, I not as good, I think, as last week's episode. Little step back.
Fair enough.
But last week was very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty awesome. But there was a lot of stuff going on in this episode, which was good. I mean, new characters introduced, some possible goodbyes to a character, some more revelations and stuff like that, and I think some more steps in the Bullock and Gordon team up. I think a lot more battlegrounds drawn. I mean, it was overall, I think it was a good episode.
Okay, Cory.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it definitely is some kind of step back in the sense of last week it was finally it was like, okay, here we go, getting it going, and now we're like kind of, oh, here we go. But I mean, did that make? Yeah, I just kind of. But
Pop
I gotta tell you something. But for most people, it's probably like, okay, like it didn't seem like we were as enthralled enough. But to us, we are seeing the little things like the mask and who that is. We'll get into and different things. So it's exciting in that way to kind of the nerds, but to other people, I can see where people are going like, oh, well, it wasn't as
Totally.
But I it was okay. I think we'll get there.
Right. We were talking earlier about how we're kind of hot and cold with Fish Mooney, how she started strong and now she's we're more interested, like Dave, you were saying this, more interested in the Falcone-Maroni battle than so much with what Fish is doing. But she had a nice little scene anyway with Penguin, and in that we saw the stabbing and him staying very cool and calling he seems to be, for as much as someone who's talking about a war that's coming, and we've talked about how, well, it's really his war, he does seem to be very adamant about keeping the peace between these two families. We feel like this is all, I mean, he needs to keep the chess pieces where he wants them in his whole grand scheme of things.
Well, I mean, just like you illustrated, though,
Sorry.
his whole goal in the beginning was to get to where he is, which is snitching, basically for he's trying to get information from both sides, right? He's where he's planted on the Maroni side, but he's working for Falcone, but there's still secrets that he's trying to figure out, which is what he did in this episode, right? He's trying to figure out just how to play the sides even more. I mean, his ultimate goal is obviously he wants. I mean, he hasn't said it out loud, but he wants to be where Falcone and where Mooney is and all that stuff. So he doesn't want to be the umbrella guy.
Right.
So it's. I think we talked about it earlier. I think his character is really the bright spot of the show right now.
The Penguin Show.
That is really good what he's doing, and Robin Lord Taylor I think is playing that perfect, man. I mean,
Expertly, yes.
Expertly.
Yeah.
I imagine him. He might get nominated for some stuff.
Oh, no doubt. But you brought up secrets, and there was a great scene with Oswald and Mrs. Cobblepot,
Right.
where there was talk of some secrets and even an actual rat that was caught. Symbolism much? Cory, what did you take away from the Cobblepot scene?
Well, first off, it's always interesting seeing the inside of their, because it's got a real, like, this is something else I don't know if I mentioned one of the other shows, but it's got a real sense of old riches, like the Cobblepot family was some kind of bright and shining thing, and now their apartment's full of old stuff that used to be nice. So it's always cool to kind of see what's going on there, and you kind of find out that it runs in the family a little bit, some of the scheming and stuff. So
snitching
and stuff. So I thought it's always cool. I always like their little back and forth, Penguin and his mom, but
we get her a lot more. We've seen her a lot more than I thought we'd seen her.
I thought she was going to be in 2 episodes. This is her third
Yeah,
appearance.
correct. Yeah, so I'm surprised by that.
But I don't see anything, like I can't see anything besides, of course, the symbolism, the rat.
Right,
and
a rat
stuff,
getting
but,
caught, and at the end, Oswald is saying everyone does have a secret. And, he's obviously thinking about getting someone or everyone's secrets. I don't know. There was a lot of secrets throughout this whole episode with the last 2 pages of the ledger that Fish was trying to get Liza to get, and so forth. And actually, let's just jump to that since we're on it. Cory, you had said before we started filming that you thought we should have at least seen Liza trying to get the ledger and all this. Let me pose this to you guys. She was startled and she spilled a little more than half the vial. So she potentially didn't pour as much in there as was intended.
Only 1 hour, because it was 2 hours. That's what I thought. But
I mean, it was less than half.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, my little theory is that we didn't see that scene because he caught her, and now he's got her working for him.
That's what I, because the reason I even noticed was because I was like, man, how are they going to fit that in here? Because I'm like, she pulled half the vial. It's probably only an hour, so it's going to be more riskier. So, or even that, even if it was less than half.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, how are they going to fit that in to all this? And all of a sudden she's like, I got it. It's just like, geez, like, it's weird that they didn't show it. So that's a very good point. I thought there's got to be something else going on.
Yeah.
Or they just didn't have time. And
all of a sudden she wants out too.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
No, I totally agree with you. I think Falcone.
She may like
I'm starting to think. Yeah, I think my theory is that he didn't catch her. She confessed, and because she's actually liking him, and
she probably has daddy issues.
Because he seemed like a nice guy.
Probably.
Or my wife was watching that episode when she first met him, and I just can't stop. I can feel how weird my face is now. But when she saw, she actually felt sorry. She was like, "Oh, he seems really nice. Like he's just a nice guy, And like she said it just like that. I was like,
yeah.
So maybe he is because he's got this whole weird likable thing about him because he talks about the city because as if he loves it. So he in his own sick and twisted way, he's working for the city. You know what I mean? He's
right.
He's fulfilling some kind of necessary job, and he sees himself in that. So and apparently the Waynes did too. So which is another weird thing. I don't know why the Waynes, since they, I guess we can get into that later. But
yeah,
the fact that they had to tie that mask thing in with them, like. I just thought it was weird. And I read an article talking about that, too, about how it was saying, like, he's been operating for, probably a while, that mask guy. Why all of a sudden is it, besides him being sloppy, is it being brought up? I don't know. It's just there's some weird things about this episode. I thought I don't say holes, but some explanations missing for me at least. I don't know if you guys felt that way.
Well, they said in the police chief's office, Enigma brought up that there was 4 other homicides that they now tied into that current one. So
that's right.
It has been going on for a little while.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's
no one ever just pursued it.
No one just cared because I guess
Gordon wasn't there yet.
Gordon was there, and then I thought maybe because since the Waynes have died, it kind of it's brought people's more attention to the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, this episode is really cool because now it's starting to get to where, as we know it, of course, I'll say Gotham we know today, but there is still a lot of corruption in Gotham we know today, but there's still a big camaraderie amongst cops that is starting to form now. You're starting to see how, because Gordon's going to be commissioner and it's not going to be weird, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be out. Yeah, of course, everybody.
Well, we definitely saw the police chief take it, or the captain take a turn.
Mm-hmm.
She's standing by Gordon, and in the beginning, we all thought, well, she's totally corrupt too, and she's totally taking her little turn.
She's doing it.
Just like
she was always afraid.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Mm-hmm. She was afraid, so
she's got a family.
And all those cops, a majority. I mean, even when Bullock stood up for Gordon, he knows that people were they weren't against Gordon. They were just scared to stand with him.
Yeah.
Even though he can be a little bit of an asshat.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a really good scene. I liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to talk crap about the episode, but there, obviously, there were some good. That was a really good scene.
Yeah,
that was a really great scene. I thought
that
was cool.
Real quick about the Liza thing.
Yeah.
Just like the Penguin, though, I guarantee we see that scene eventually.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see that scene eventually.
That's a good point.
That was a flash. Was that? Yeah. Wait. You're talking about when Penguin walked up to him, or
no, the whole conversation.
When that's right. That's right.
The reveal of what he was doing.
I forgot they did that.
They'll do that probably with her.
Very true.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Just when you think.
Just when you think. It'll teach you to think.
It will teach you.
Well, keeping the whole lie theme going here, and going back to Fish again, she told a little whopper about her murdered prostitute mother.
What a horrible story.
And then her mom comes over and she was like,
"Why did you say that?
Why'd you tell her that?"
I was about to say, so that was her mom?
Yeah, it was her mom.
Okay. I thought it was, and I was like, what? She didn't say mom, though. She said it's late. But yeah, I totally got that. I was like, weird.
Yeah, I have it written down here in all these numerous notes somewhere. She was talking about, here it is. A lie with a heart of truth is a powerful thing.
Mm.
So it was a lie, but it had a heart of truth. So based on actual events.
Yeah,
is basically.
She just wants someone to call her mama.
Yeah, she makes everyone call her mama.
She finally did, because she's like, you haven't earned that yet. When she
right.
Yeah.
True.
But to say that whole kind of storyline is kind of falling flat for me with the whole Fish Mooney stuff, Jada Pinkett still hitting it out of the ballpark. I mean, she's still amazing at it. I mean, I think what she's doing, and something about that Liza character, that Mackenzie is, I don't know why I haven't seen her on more stuff. She seems like
she's an up-and-comer, I believe.
She'll be there.
She'll be there. Exactly.
She's really good at what she's doing.
So, episode's called The Mask. No Jim Carrey.
Smoking.
Yeah. None of that.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That'd have been really cool if he was at Fish Mooney's nightclub going. Like,
would have taken a turn. The show would have taken a little turn.
I would have enjoyed it.
Everybody
probably would have hated it, but I would have liked it. So.
Liked it, exactly. But yeah, so The Mask. It's a black mask. We have Richard Sionis of Sionis Industries. It's, what is it? Not Richard Sionis in the comics. It's Roman.
Roman
Sionis. So what are we thinking? Just change the name? He's eventually going to become Black Mask, or his son, or what's our thoughts here?
Well, when I saw it, I was like, I talked to you because I didn't put two and two together at first. I was like, why didn't they just do Black Mask? Why didn't they just do that? And you better not be Black Mask, because that's not, it's not
the Black Mask. Yeah.
So, and I kind of forgot, like, the way Gotham is doing things is, nods and then future, you're the one that brought to light that it was the Roman and stuff. So, or not the Roman,
Sionis.
Sionis?
Yeah.
Sionis. So, you know, maybe, yeah, you think it's his dad or it could be his son that comes up, or, I mean,
that actor, Todd Stashwick, I think his name is, I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff.
and
you've seen him a lot of stuff.
he did a great job. Like that.
He
was a
did.
good
He's
bad
fantastic.
guy. Like, it was amazing.
So I kind of lean towards him maybe becoming, you know, he just doesn't look like a Roman, so
Right.
they called him Richard, or he's just, or that's just an alias. He changes.
Old
I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
Because in the comic books, he, you know, murders his family to get his wealth and get the company. So he could have changed his name to that, you know, I don't know, whatever. No,
True.
well, I don't see how that would happen if he inherited his family business.
They gotta be.
Well, maybe he
But,
is the son, and he has to kill, and he does kill the dad and inherits.
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
I don't know. 'Cause
Or maybe he's the dad, and the son Roman is going to kill him.
Because did they ever say he was CEO?
I think he said it was his company.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's his company.
Okay.
So,
Because I was saying he could have just been. I mean,
but it could be the
second
father.
floor
He really
office,
could
you
be
know?
the father.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
But because I think in the comic book, Roman, the way he gets the mask is he goes and basically digs up his father's remains, and somehow I don't think it's his actual skull, but he creates the skull at the cemetery, and that's what he wears as the black mask.
Interesting.
So it's
That
not
would be a
it's
really
not
cool
the kind
origin.
of backstory, that
Yeah.
is part of this show. So
And it's
Yeah.
another villain that we don't need Batman to have. I mean, obviously. I mean, I feel like
correct.
because
He's a crime boss,
Right.
He fits
Yeah.
with
Right.
the Penguin, and you know, with Carmine and
Well, yeah.
absolutely.
Sal.
He says a mask sets the soul free, you know, which Mask and Cal, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
Bruce wasn't there to hear
Yeah.
that, but you know, Gordon, be like, I remember Sionis once told me that a mask sets. So I see where you're coming from there, Caped Crusader. But I want to talk about Bruce because this was a big Bruce episode. He gets taken back to school and.
We just uncrossed.
Yeah, I know.
We got some choreography here on this show. We're gonna do a dance later.
Oh, yeah.
The Bat
yeah.
2C.
Oh, yeah. There you
The
go.
Bat 2C. I mean, I think in this episode more than any others, I noticed just how differently Bruce talks. You know, his language.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't talk like, was he a 12-year-old?
12, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I just want to know, you know, we really didn't get to see him before his parents were murdered. I assume, though, he always just kind of talks that way. But when he's telling Alfred, you know, basically he doesn't want to go back to school, he's like,
Their little back and forth, like, make a good case. Like, what's
yeah, he's
define
like,
normal and make a good case for it. Yeah.
Cite your or
Yeah,
not cite your source, but,
I mean,
yeah,
something
and make
like that.
and make
There's
a
something
good
to be
case
like,
for
wow,
it.
he's genuinely.
And then when Alfred said there'd be
Yeah.
no shame in doing this, he said there would be immense shame in this. And I just don't know any 12-year-olds that really talk like that
Right.
or anything. But I guess he had to be like
Well,
this,
he's pretty brilliant.
yeah, before. But now, obviously, watching his parents being murdered has unlocked all these other things in him, like the detective, and now he
He's
wants
been reading
to
a lot, yeah. So.
learn to fight. Another thing he said was, "You're being very unkind, and I don't understand why." You know.
That's such a weird.
It's a
You're
weird.
being mean.
it's a weird way to say
that
things.
Normal 12-year-olds would say. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a really cool little back and forth and a very cool a cool bonding experience for them both. So.
You can definitely tell from watching how much Alfred cares for him. You know, he sends him off, and he's like, "Good luck."
Interesting enough, I saw an interview a while back with the whole cast, and they were asking. I guess they asked David what was his favorite Batman, and he said he loved the Christian Bale Batman, and he said he felt like don't quote me, but that he was kind of modeling it kind of after that, in the sense of he liked the way it was portrayed in that sense, but to do it as a 12-year-old, I think he's doing. I mean, it's going to be hard to, because at some point next season, the third season, they're going to have to jump sometime. You know what I mean? It's going to be sad if we have to see him go. And who would they choose? Because that's a big. I mean, he's small, but it's a big role to fill.
Right.
It's because of what he's already brought forth with it. So,
Exactly.
but he's done an amazing job. It was great.
So what do we think about when he asked Alfred to teach him to fight?
Well, I think when you saw it last week, or the week before in the trailer, it was like, oh, wait a minute, he's gonna learn to fight already, and start that on that road. But now that you see the episode, I think in the context, it's just like self-defense against these bullies, which is a ton easier to swallow.
Yeah.
That okay, he's just gonna fight them, teach him how to fight against bullies by just basically punching and protecting yourself versus actually fighting like 5, 10, 100 people at a time. You know what I mean?
There were 5.
Yes. So
I counted. I counted. Anyways.
Anyway.
I can't take
agree.
2 of your pawns.
Yeah, 2 of your pawns. Yeah.
Very well. So
Sorry,
so
I know the whole.
no.
He takes the rope and fight.
So anyway, I think in the context, it's pretty neat. I mean, it's a beginning. He learns how to throw a punch, and that's pretty good.
My heart still sank a little bit because I had that fear. I've got the fear. I've got the fear that he's not going, that he's staying in Gotham, and I don't want him to. But the more it happens,
It's very early still.
it is very early. But each episode, it makes me think like they're going to do it. They're going to keep him in Gotham because where he goes, I mean, it's not like they. I mean, if I can't even talk. If the fear is that if he goes, there's something missing. That shouldn't be the case because they have plenty of things to fill his spot in the. You know what I mean? You got the Barbara BS and between so that's going to be gone too.
Yeah.
So we got some cool stuff that can fill that little void. The drunken. So, that's that when he was like, "You shouldn't have to go when you were drinking." And he's like, "I'm sorry." Like it's been some kind of past argument.
Yeah, right.
Well, drinking.
We know
she's screaming.
We know she smokes a J.
She does.
Now she's drinking too much.
Yeah.
She's a mess.
She is a mess.
She's lost her pants.
Don't know where her pants are.
She's misplaced her pants.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that shouldn't be the case.
Let's talk about old Enigma. He kind of showed a little goofier side this time with his autopsy thing, talking about how he ate half of a muffin or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just this oddball. But
That is
what
weird.
keeps coming up are all these people just, disrespecting him.
Absolutely.
And I think this keeps happening because we're building to this point where he's just gonna.
He's gonna climb a clock tower and take out the tower.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, absolutely. That's very
stockings over his head.
true. Well, that whole autopsy scene was. I mean, he clearly is more brilliant than anybody around him. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you're lost when he walked out, which was really cool. And he's done it several times apparently.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And he tried to do another riddle. What happens when the detective goes? Oh,
Yeah.
you're gone. You walked away.
And didn't he do a riddle in the autopsy
Oh, he
room
did.
to
And he
the
goes-
dead guy?
Right.
And he's like, what do they have in common? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
You're right. It's nothing. Yeah.
I think he. I'm starting to lean towards him actually being, a villain that we possibly could have without Batman.
Not yeah.
Because if he keeps doing this, and just I don't know, just builds up this hatred, somehow, and 3 or 4 seasons down, I can see him breaking off and trying to put people to the test, because that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
all the time.
Secretly. I mean, he
Yeah.
won't be
Correct.
the Riddler. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Well, they might dub him as the Riddler, but I mean, he won't get into like
The costume and
costume
stuff,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
He'll definitely have his alter ego as the mild man. But
We know what you're saying.
It's the
You're trying to say.
But-
yeah, I could totally see him as like this
3 or 4
season on
seasons,
thing that keeps popping up.
Yeah.
These unsolved mysteries that we eventually later on in that season find out they are all caused by the Riddler, or by Enigma.
Sure.
But the police never finds out about it. Maybe that might be the first thing that
That
the
might
viewers
be.
are savvy on that
Yeah.
they aren't. That would be pretty cool.
That would be
that
pretty cool.
They do that later season, or maybe starting with the second season.
And you mentioned in 3. I don't think I could take it. I don't think I could take them like seeing the same thing over, like, oh my gosh, another season of them, like him trying to say a riddle and Bullock basically slapping him in the face.
Yeah. Shut up, Ed.
Yeah.
Just get out of here.
I mean, they just like, what are you doing? Now you're just hitting him. It's ridiculous.
Basically, Gordon's the only one who gives him a
The time of
little
day,
bit
yeah.
of...
Right.
So,
And I think Ed
He's
has
the one figuring
respect.
his stuff out.
Yeah, Ed has respect for James because...
Has he only done the one riddle?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only one he's gotten out so far.
Yeah, I know. He's-
Shut up, Ed! Stop talking!
poor Bullock, man, just hates him.
Yes. Let's talk about our favorite girl, Barbara.
Babs.
Who is Gandhi. She gets hung up on once after she says,
Classic girl.
give me half of your burden. And Gordon gives her half the burden. She's like, whoa!
Too much.
And you hung up on me? I'm leaving you a note.
Yeah, I know.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
What do we think's... discuss. What do we think's up?
Hope she remembered to take her stash, because then that's going to be really awkward. Have to come back and get it.
Jim, sorry, I just got to get it's 420, so...
Yeah, I mean, after all that, seeing what he went through with Falcone, and not knowing that, you know, it was all done with the Penguin in the background, still to leave him again. I mean, it's just I was very surprised.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, here
Like,
we go.
what? Fine,
Leave,
go,
Barbara.
get out of here.
Now, we don't know what the note says. It could be,
I
I'm,
feel like I'm with
I'm
Barbara.
going to my mother's for a couple
Yeah.
days.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true, but-
because she talks like that.
I don't know why she.
Uh,
Why she's a Jewish
Who
woman.
knows? But we have heard that there is going to be a new Gordon love interest, so that's why I think she's gone. And now
Yeah.
this psychiatrist, or this therapist woman, is going to be.
Leslie Tompkins or something like that.
I think so. Yeah. Who knows? Just more OC drama.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. But now, another.
So I guess that is Gordon's place then. Is that Gordon's place?
Oh.
The clock tower?
Well, that's a good point. Well, it is now.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Dear
It
Jen,
was hers,
I'm
though.
leaving you.
That's a
Please
pretty nice place on a cop
sublet,
salary, right?
sublet my place.
I don't know what he's gonna do now.
Yeah.
Party.
Exactly.
Party on
Hey,
the
Bullock,
roof.
bring over that stripper.
all the
Have her
cops.
bring a friend.
Right.
Oh god, Bullock has some dirty McGurdies.
Anyway, now is time for a new segment that we have on the show called Caption This. So, gentlemen, if you please pull out your phones, I have emailed you a picture, and it is time to caption this. By the way, we'd like to thank our friends at TV Tag Gotham for giving us this idea. The Caption This thing's been done before, but they started doing it with clips from Gotham on Twitter, so follow them at TV Tag Gotham. Thanks again, guys. Should I start? Should you guys want to go? Caption this. Here's the image.
Okay, so we got Gordon. Let's look at a mask. There's Bullock in the background. So okay.
You know, Bullock, if you shaved your beard, I think you might look like this.
Nice.
All right. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm going to say Gordon is saying, well, if Barbara thinks this will help our sex life, I guess I'll give it a try.
That's good. That's good.
And Cory
good.
says,
That awkward moment when your partner walks in on you pleasuring yourself to a mask. That's all I got. That's all I got.
all right.
It's terrible and awkward. It is awkward in itself. So there you go. I mean, he
Well, there you
kind of
go.
looks like he's like, yeah, that mask is really cool. Bullock's like, what the But there you go.
Awesome.
You put me on the spot, so I had
That's
to
what
go.
it's about. That's what it's about.
Had to go.
Caption this. All right, that's good.
So if you like to vote on which of us did the best job on captioning this, it is at Gotham After Show, and you can just say hashtag Chad, David, or Cory, whoever you like, and also caption it yourselves. How about that?
Well, I'm assuming you'll tweet it out. I guess.
Yeah, I'll tweet it out. It'll be tweeted.
All right.
It will be tweeted. Thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah.
We have some lovely parting gifts for you.
Great, good, dandy, great.
So this was, again, we kind of talked about the captain making this turn and coming around more to Gordon's side. And there's a nice little exchange from them when it was said, you know, when did this become normal for this city? What changed? And Gordon says, maybe nothing. This is my Gordon voice. Maybe nothing. Maybe it was just maybe it's always just below the surface. Only needed a spark.
Ben.
Like Thomas and Martha
I love
Wayne
you,
being
Ben.
killed.
Yeah.
That's what they represented. A better, more decent Gotham. Do we think that is right or just a bunch of crap?
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The fact that, I mean, we still haven't really figured, I mean, I feel like I still haven't really figured out on kind of a sense of, just because we know Batman's origin, but what the Waynes stood for in this universe. Like, so far, they've been, I mean, I've dabbled in the thought that they may actually be bad at some point, like, because we thought maybe with the Arkham Project, how is that, and then it talks about them opening up a orphanage or whatever that was, and the Spirit of the Goat when it flashed back, and now I don't know. It's like they represented order, or they made all the. I don't see how they snuffed, like how they kept all the crazies at bay. If that's in a sense what Gordon is getting at, I don't see that by them dying. Other than what we mentioned earlier, which was, it's like, oh, they're dead, so anything's possible now. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because it's a good, to me, I think it's a very good story to center all that has happened with Gordon, with Bruce, and with these and the corruption tied to that murder, because you really haven't. I mean, you kind of got that in the Nolan trilogy because, Ra's al Ghul says, we tried to destroy, kill Gotham from within,
Yeah.
Right.
but your parents were the reason why I started coming back, and so it's almost similar to that, that they were the only bright spot in Gotham, and maybe that's what it was. They kept somewhat the order because there were good people behind them, but then maybe when they died, they kind of went away.
So like the Kardashians for us, right?
Yeah.
So kind of like the bright spot in America.
Yeah.
I can't even make that noise. It's like, is my nostril still? Is it going up? On the side?
It's fine.
On that side,
On this side?
a little bit.
No, not yet.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get a very short scene with Selina Kyle, where a girl's got a shop.
Yeah.
We see in next week's episode that her and Bruce are finally going to meet. So she's in custody, basically, as of this episode. Last Gordon saw her, he was down in a sewer. He knows that she saw the killer of the Waynes.
Actually, the last time was he was
Snuck in.
Wasn't she robbing that guy? And
No. Oh, no.
remember he kicked her. He kicked that guy. No, lunch. It's lunch.
Oh, you're talking about last time he saw her.
Last time Gordon saw her.
Right.
Yes, that was when. Yeah.
That wasn't the sewer. That was after that.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Oh, right.
Venom.
The
The
Venom episode.
That was the last time she was.
Well, the
in.
last time they were within talking
Right.
True.
talking distance. So he's obviously wants to get this information out of her, but we know just from the previews of next week that she's at the Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
What do we think's going to happen? How's she going to get out?
She's such a delight. Just for the 1 second she was on there, I was like, that's awesome. She's the essence of everything I could think of.
There needs to be more of her.
I hope that looks like
Dare
there
I
will
say.
be.
There needs to be, but it's a little confusing though. It's a little confusing her purpose, in a sense, because Catwoman obviously has always been a villain, but she's not really a bad villain. You know what I mean? She's a thief. She has her own agenda.
She'll be on Batman's side if it's in for her.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's funny is if you tie it into a little bit what we may talk about here, the Hush storyline. She was very prominent in the Hush storyline, helping Batman. And it's weird, even the New 52, she actually joins the Justice League of America as a good guy, as a good superhero. So she has all different, and I'm wondering which one they're going to go with, and where what these experiences are going to develop her into, because she obviously already has the thief mentality and all that stuff, but where does she end up training? You know, because she can fight. You know, in the book.
She's street smart.
Correct.
She can already claw a guy's eyes out.
Yeah. True.
Yes, that was awesome.
And not have anything under her fingernails. Did you notice
She
that?
cleaned it up. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
She could have some dark thing about her.
Yeah. Who
She
knows?
probably keep.
Or maybe she has actually claws.
She just
Yeah.
perhaps.
Michelle Pfeiffer's whatever the heck.
Yeah.
Michelle
that
Pfeiffer.
is.
You brought up an interesting name there, Hush.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Elliott was a kid who got the crap
yes.
beat out of him before
Very
Bruce
cool.
goes to eat some victory pizza. Tommy Elliott is Hush. Ah,
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Yay.
he ends up
Easter egg.
becoming Dr. Thomas Elliott.
It'd be
Yeah.
funny if he was like, "Do you need bandages?" No, I never liked bandages.
Yeah. Right.
Which, perfect casting. That kid was creepy looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was a creepy looking kid. Big eyebrows.
Goofy pumpkin haircutted freak.
Freak. That's right. That's right. So it's Hush and Bruce, same age. So there's that. We know we're getting Scarecrow
Yes.
soon as a kid. So there's going to be all like Ivy, Catwoman,
Oh yeah.
Scarecrow,
Ivy. I miss Ivy.
Hush, all around the same age. Then you got your, Enigmas and Penguins that are a little bit older. So it's all kind of
Yeah.
everyone's kind of either on this level or they're they're kind of young or they're.
Actually, real quick, let's talk about Ivy. Can we talk about Ivy for a second?
We sure can.
There's different versions, right? I mean, has she always been Dr. Pamela Isley, or is she just, because I know, how does she come to, does she control the plants, or does she have just the, what is it, the spores, the way,
yeah.
the kind of, not the magic, but,
No.
a way with men type thing, like, because the reason I ask is because there's really no reason to see her until she's old enough
Yeah.
to where she's gone to school and done that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So I would like to see her, so how are they going to do that?
I
do you
think I don't,
I can't
it sucks I can't remember the her origin in New 52, but I know in her previous origin she was a chemist, I think, and created plants
Exactly.
that she could command or whatever or whatnot and control.
The only time
I
I've seen
think
her,
she's like that in the New 52.
only time I've seen her in New 52 was with Harley Quinn in her comic.
Well, no, she
haven't seen anything.
briefly brushed into the Birds of Prey. She was actually part
Oh.
of the Birds of Prey for a little while. They didn't trust her, obviously, because she was a villain, but she joined the Birds of Prey, which is Black Canary and Batgirl
Huntress and a Huntress.
and Huntress. No, not Huntress, I'm sorry. Huntress was World's Finest. It was Black Canary, the Batgirl, and it was Katana for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, she joined that group, and eventually not. But then she had her own villain book, which had more, a little more. It didn't have her origin because there was a crossover going on with a detective with her and Clayface. But anyway, she.
Oh, yeah.
But she does manipulate. She has that aroma thing, which she can manipulate.
Like pheromones.
Pheromones,
Yeah.
correct.
That's
sorry.
what I was aware of.
Yeah, pheromones. So she has that. I don't know. I can't remember if I read her origin. I just don't remember her new 52 origin. But there's a villain book from last year that has a little bit of who she is.
Gotcha.
But,
I'd like to see her. I'd like to see if it plays out, because we knew we have Venom, so it's
Yeah.
not, we saw superhuman kind of stuff, so I don't know. I wonder when that's going to happen.
but definitely, again, people that haven't read it, go read Hush.
Mhm.
It is a phenomenal, illustrated by Jim Lee, who is by far my favorite artist.
Yeah, he's great.
Superman, Batman, fight!
It was a 12 issue arc that lasted a year, 2003, I think, and in Batman. But you could obviously just go buy the trade paperback, read the whole story. I got it. It is phenomenal. All the villains are in it. Superman shows up in it. It's a
It just
great
shows how
story, man.
weak Superman really is.
Oh,
That
come
kind of
on.
stuff. Batman, especially Batman villains.
That's for another show.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Lastly, I want to end on talking about something that Jim says to Harvey. Gonna have to start saying Harvey Bullock after next week because we'll have
That's
Harvey
right.
Dent.
Very cool.
Here.
Very cool.
Jim says he's not going to stop. Falcone, the mayor, every dirty cop. And he looks right at Harvey and he says, "You should know that." Do you think he was saying, "You should know that because I know you're kind of dirty, even though you've had my back."
Right.
But
I didn't
you
take
should
it
know
like
that. He says, everybody, every
Yeah.
dirty cop. I'm not going to stop. You should know that. Am I reading too much into this, or do you guys think he's being like, "I like you, man. Thanks for having my back, but you should know you need to be completely clean"?
I think, well, get clean maybe, but I'm thinking at first that's kind of how it's meant to come off to people, but then when I let it resonate for a second, I felt like you should know that because you're my partner and I want to let you know that I'm not stopping, quit trying to
Get me to,
get
yeah.
me to. You should know that type thing. So,
Yeah.
or because
Yeah.
you should know that, because they could be.
But I think it's almost like a friendly warning to him, like,
Yeah.
if you don't want to go down that road, man, you need to get out now because where I'm going, there might be no way back. So I don't think it was directly towards him because he's come to his rescue a couple times now. So I mean, hell, he was willing to die for him last week. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
right.
it was.
so you can't get. But I do. Besides what's happening with Penguin, their relationship is pretty awesome. It's a good part of the show.
Oh yeah,
Bullock
Yeah.
and Gordon. It's great.
it's getting better. I think. I mean, obviously, besides the fact that Bullock is just like a terrible freaking detective. Well, I wouldn't say terrible. He has had his bright spots, but it's like
He is surprised when he's right.
because
So I was right?
Yeah.
You are the best?
he immediately solves the case solved right there in the captain's office. You know when he's talking about the.
Yeah.
I thought it was just.
I
funny.
Just
thought
admit
You
it.
are
We're the
just-
first person we brought in.
terrible.
Admit it so I can have lunch.
Yeah.
I just thought of something though. We haven't seen a police commissioner yet though.
No, we have not.
Is
She's
they
talked
usually
about
above
him.
the captain? That's above the.
Yes, the commissioner's the tippy top because she mentions the commissioner
Oh, she does.
at some. It was earlier on. When was that? Was
I don't remember
was that
ever
the
hearing.
eyeball pokey guy? I think she mentioned him in that episode.
Ball poker at her.
Maybe the one before that when she's
Possibly.
talking about how.
Protect the commissioner or something like that.
Well, what she said. She was like, "I'm afraid" or something, and even the commissioner wouldn't even trust you or something.
It may have been mentioned,
Maybe.
yeah.
She mentioned it because I remember thinking the same thing. Like we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
True.
Interesting.
Because how does because basically he's the rookie and he's basically gonna leapfrog all these different people somehow and get
He has a great work
in.
work ethic.
work ethic, right?
Yeah.
Wonder if is it
What you got to have,
Commissioner Loeb?
kids.
Is that a part of the
I don't
comics?
know.
I have to look that
I
up.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not sure. That's year one stuff, probably.
Yeah. So next week, it's Bruce training Alfred and maybe with Selina. Do a little montage.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly.
We'll see. So anyway,
Get it, Rock.
thanks for joining us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Gotham After Show. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and subscribe to our network on YouTube, youtube.com/21 network. That's 21 spelled out. So you can get all of these videos delivered with your notifications, say new episode, but they're out every week anyway. But still, you need to subscribe. And with someone, please add us on Skype. We want to see your videos. You know, if you send us a video message on Skype, and again, just add Gotham After Show, you are automatically entered into some giveaway. We don't know what yet, but boom. And that is the only way you can get entered. We want to play a video. Send us a video.
Now.
Now.
And
It's a good giveaway, I promise you. Anyway, thanks to the Red Couch contributors.
the red
That
couch.
should be your team name.
The
Red
Red
Couch
Couch. That's pretty
contributors. There you
Can I
go.
just go ahead and throw out the next contest?
Oh wow.
Do
There
it.
you go.
Do
All right.
it.
Because we just talked about it. We're giving away Hush.
There you go.
Boom.
The entire-
City.
Trade paperback of Hush. Now how you got to enter this time?
Oh, never mind what Chad just said.
Wait, what?
I said the only way you can enter is if you send us
He
a
does
video
that.
on Skype.
He likes to do that.
For what? The next giveaway?
Yeah. Well, then
Yeah.
whatever it is. He said.
Maybe we'll make a separate
There you
Skype
go.
video.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say.
Okay.
I was gonna say in addition to that, leave us another way. Leave us a comment on iTunes.
Ah,
You need to get some iTunes comments. Going.
there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So
There you go.
Get on there. Get on Skype.
It also doesn't hurt if you retweet when we send out a link of the episode on Twitter.
Ooh.
Retweet it. It doesn't
RT.
hurt ya.
Archie.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
there you go.
you are DCottingham21 on Twitter. You are at KooMasterKoo on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, which I forgot to mention, is from the In the Comics podcast. Cory is from the let's
Star Wars
say
TCG.
Star Wars. I was gonna say the Cool Time
Oh,
Show.
Cool Times. Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's gonna start
Yeah, Cool Time Show. The Couch Couple
blowing
as well.
up. And the Couch Couple.
Yeah.
Brand new show.
Dave's on every other podcast as well,
Yeah.
including the 21 podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not on those.
You're not on those two. That's right.
Right.
So anyway.
Jeez.
But the main takeaway is follow the show at Gotham After Show on Twitter. We will see you guys next week. Until then, you asshats, stay frosty.